Oh, well, I suppose there's a lot of people that have left the union because they're disappointed. So I would ask that they don't all rejoin for starters. And I think with a change of leadership and an election platform that shows that we mean business, I think there'll be naturally people come back to the union. But that goes back to my point about organisers being out in the workplace. Like currently, I've just signed up 2 CSAs on the north, one at Gosford and one at on the Hunter line, because they'd never been approached by the union to join. And I think that may have, the girl at Gosford told me that they didn't do a physical course at Petersham, where they usually captured, because of the pandemic. So she was quite happy to join her partner as a driver in Sydney somewhere. I didn't exactly remember where, but she was stoked that I had it. And I was lucky I was carrying around a membership form, and I gave it to her and said, sign that, send it off to head office, and you'll get your membership card, etc. So I think we need to go out and get delegates and organisers mobile in the workplace and do an audit and find out who's not in the union, see if they want to join, tell them that there's a new management team in control of the union and we want to do better. Because let's face it, industrially you've got to have close to, if not 100%, to be effective if you're going to take industrial action. There's several people not in the union who don't know what to do with this industrial action because they're not part of the union. They're concerned that they may get some sort of action taken against them. And I've tried to convince as many as possible to come back into the union. I've been successful with a couple. But that's the job of a full-time organiser. It needs to be more outreach to people who aren't in the union. But obviously, starting at Petersham College, there should be a recruitment officer going there every time there's a new class of station staff, cleaners, guards, drivers, whatever capacity they're going to be employed in. They should be captured at the college. And I know in the past there was no real ownership of that. And we may have to look at a recruitment officer for that position.
Yeah, just to second you on that, Dave, the thing is, coming from stations, the apathy towards this union was really, really bad. And I think if we change the mindset to show that there's people out there and there's people that if you send an email or you call, that somebody's going to respond to it. And all attempts are going to be made to help you. Once the word gets out on that, I think people will start coming back to the union, because I think Dave will back me on this. The biggest gripe you have out there is the lack of getting a response from the union, seeing a union official rock up there. And as I said, we go back to the technology. I mean, if you needed to speak to that member, you could have put him on Zoom, put him on whatever, and have a chat with him. What's it going to cost you? 5 minutes of your time? You don't even have to send that person an email. Just, ask him when he's available and you have a 5-minute chat with him. And at least you've got the story. But this, just ignoring things, ignoring emails, ignoring phone calls, what does that say about the incumbents? We taking people for granted here, or what? If you're not it doesn't matter how big or small the problem is. The thing is just showing people that you're there, you're going to check it out for them, you're going to have a look into it, you're going to speak to people and get back to them. I don't see what's so hard about that. But
I agree, Alan.
And the current incumbents, they've ignored this whole simple customer service process.
I get that a lot in the last 3 or 4 weeks I've been out touring and talking to people. A lot of people have commented, you're the first union rep we've seen in 10, 12, 15. One guy said 15 years. And he said, I'm going to vote for you just because you turned up. And I think, that's great that he's going to vote for me because I turned up. But I said, here's my policies anyway. It's a sad state of affairs that, you're going to vote for someone blind, more or less, not sure what I'm all about just because I turned up. So I would like to change that. And I think it's not a big ask to get officials to go out and talk to their members in the workplace. It shouldn't happen once every 4 years. It should happen consistently, because then you get a feel for what's going on in the job. You get a feel for how the membership are feeling about an issue. Consultation, it's basically consultation, going out and talk to people. It's not hard to do. I've actually sat with some people on this tour and listened to them for 2 hours. And they were stoked that someone actually would spend that time with them. And I think it's not a big issue to do that, and shows that you care. And I think that there's a sort of culture at the moment where you only see a union official very rarely. Like, I can't remember the last time I saw an organiser up here in Newcastle, except for a NIF show. It's been a long time, and that needs to change. We need to be better than that. People are putting in, $600 or $800 a year to be a member of this union. They deserve better at service, I believe.